Well. Welcome back. I'm here to yap. Before we get started, new syrup alert! Oh! This is peach syrup that I made last night. As a reminder, these bottles are at Target right now. The dollar section. It was $3. Peach syrup. Trader Joe's sparkling black tea with peach. Oh, last peaches of the summer. Let's talk about Tyler Perry. I always feel like I have to provide a disclaimer, especially because he went on this summer, earlier, a couple months ago, he went on Keke Palmer's podcast and he was talking about his critics, calling them highbrow negroes. Bro, that's so funny to me. Let's just go ahead and define highbrow. Let's see. I have my tab open. You know I have 7 million tabs open. Hold on. Where it's at? Okay. When it's used to describe books, plays, etc., involving serious and complicated or artistic ideas. And when highbrow is used to describe people, it's people that are only interested in serious and complicated subjects. Media that is serious and intended for intelligent, educated people who know a lot about these forms of art. Okay? Was I in focus? I don't know. That's what it say highbrow is. Let's see what it say lowbrow is. Lowbrow. Is that one word? Not complicated or demanding much intelligence to be understood. Okay. Now that we've established that, let's go back to the Keke Palmer interview. I'm reading this from Variety.com. Perry told Palmer that he's learned to take no notice of the criticisms throughout the years, as his movies are enjoyed by a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend, he continued. So you've got this highbrow Negro. He's mad. He's so mad. You got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up, looking at everything. Then you got people like where I come from and me, who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers are caregivers for white kids and were maids, housekeepers, beauticians. Don't discount these people and say that their stories don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that bullshit. Okay, he said what he said. Are the critiques highbrow? Or are they just like simply asking for more? I am not a highbrow Negro. I was raised on Nollywood DVDs. 7 discs for one film. If it's not Blackberry, it's not Blackberry. When I critique Tyler Perry, I'm coming at it from the perspective of someone who wants more. I'm not trying to teach an elder, because in the community, you're not allowed to teach an elder. You're not allowed. But if I can be so bold, you have to be able to tell the difference between someone who's critiquing you because they want you to go away and someone who's critiquing you because they want more or they want better. When I critique Tyler Perry's films, it's because, man, I wish. You know what I mean? Maybe the critiques be highbrow, but not my critique. My critique is like, what are the choices here and how can we change the choices? Fine. It's whatever. Soap operas exist, don't they? OG Nollywood films exist, don't they? Dun dun dun. The mother-in-law doing witchcraft. Demon Baby. Part 5, 6, 7. Like there's an audience for that. And I also don't believe in hate watching. So when I watch a Tyler Perry film, it's because I'm curious. It's because I want to see. And it's because when people make things like original things that's not like Deadpool 3, Fast and Furious 700, a reboot of like The Matrix, but it's like, but Keanu is still alive, so why is we rebooting it? Like Hollywood wants to do all that. I understand. So when someone's doing something original, just like stories in I went to watch the Halle Berry movie, the scary movie. It's like, yes, you look at the marquee and it's just like redo, reboot, number 7, part 8. You know what I'm saying? Godzilla again. So here I am Here I am. Here I am, very clearly stating that I appreciate Tyler Perry's existence in the industry, and I understand everything he went through, everything he's been through, everything he came from. You know what I'm saying? I get it now, but I would like to point out he's rich now. Okay, now he's okay. We're not talking about somebody who's struggling now. Okay, is everybody anyway? Let me focus. This is me clearly stating that I appreciate his existence and I understand his existence in the industry, and I validate, Mr. Perry, I validate your desire to serve an underserved group of viewers as you define them. However, I would like to gently push back on Tyler Perry's notion that people who critique his storylines or his creations are like highbrow Negroes who want everything to be like, what do you think these highbrow Negroes want? Do they want everything to be like Martin Scorsese? Like, is that what you think people are asking for? Because I'm asking for a storyline. I'm asking for a storyline that kind of, makes a bit more sense. I don't think it's high Negro of somebody to like have questions about the plot line and to have questions about characters' motivations and like dialogue. I don't think that that's highbrow. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I think everybody deserves a plot line. I don't think that's reserved for the Jack and Jill. I don't think a plot line, like a solid, tight plot line, is reserved for the future leaders of tomorrow. You know what I mean? You don't gotta be on an Obama track to want a plot line. Because the Disney Channel original films of my youth, solid. They were intellectual, posh, complicated, serious, deep. True Confessions was kind of deep though. The Color of Friendship was kind of deep though. But Xenon Girl of the 21st Century simply took you on a complete journey. High School Musical, very well done. Right? This is not a Truman Capote biopic. Biopic? How you say that? When I watch the genre, I call it the middle-aged white man-baby, man-child genre. I don't have these same sort of kind of foundational questions. I don't watch Step Brothers with Will Ferrell and think to myself, sitting on the couch, man, I just wonder what happened to these characters. Why is this happening? Why are these characters making these decisions? The Hangover, 1, 2, 3, so chaotic. And yet you can follow what's going on a basic level. Girls Trip. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the culture, to the community. Solid film. Sorry, my hair is getting in the way. Solid film. Had a little message in there, here and there. Not that deep. Had tropes, had stereotypes. But you could definitely follow it. You could definitely follow it both emotionally and logically. Yeah, I believe in general people want to have a good time. Not every day Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio. Not every day Interstellar, Matthew McConaughey. I get it. So, Mr. Perry, yes, some people will always take issue with the way you choose to portray Black people. But I want to be very clear that that's not what I'm talking about in this video. I believe that it is possible to create messy stories, right? Because Tyler Perry always talking about how he's repping for people in the trenches. So you can talk about the trenches, you can talk about the mess, the complicatedness, the grit. You can the subject matter itself can be a little bit messy without the structural integrity of the storyline being sloppy. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that because I'm just a girl with a YouTube channel. My critiques of Tyler Perry is that it be sloppy, if I may be so bold. And I think I may be so bold because I bought this microphone and I pay for the Wi-Fi connection. James Baldwin said, I criticize America because I love her so. Tyra Banks said, learn from this. We were rooting for you. I feel like Tyler Perry think he have haters. But I truly believe that even the talented 10, that even the W.E.B. Du Bois fan club, I believe people be containing multitudes, and you can have bell hooks on your bookshelf and still cut on a Tyler Perry movie. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong, people? I don't think it is. I'm getting hot. I'm getting frustrated. Divorce in the Black, I think, let me see the stat. Hold on. I'm not going to fact check it too much, but it says Divorce in the Black was the third most watched movie in the US for the first 4 days it was out on Amazon Prime, according to like the Nielsen ratings and how they calculate that stuff. People want to watch. Regular people want to watch. But when you see the reviews rolling in from regular people, a girl with a YouTube channel, and you see some of the same feedbacks, don't you start to wonder just a little bit, Mr. Perry? And you know what? Let me answer my own question. I don't think he do. I don't think he'd be wondering. And that's why this video is not for him. It's for you, internet cousins. It's for you. Speaking of reviews, let's talk about Divorce in the Black. I watched it recently. It's the film with Megan Good and Corey Hardrict. Let me find their actual names so I don't just keep saying Megan Good. So Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black is available on Prime. The little synopsis that you find on Prime says Ava, a young bank professional, is devastated when her husband Dallas abandons a marriage she is determined to fight for until fate intervenes, revealing Dallas's wicked deeds that have trashed their marriage and once upon a time sabotaged Ava's destiny to be loved by her true soulmate. What did I just read? I went to Wikipedia. I'm reading Wikipedia because that Prime description, what in the Mad Libs? Okay. Ava, the daughter of a church preacher, or the type of preachers there, is devastated to learn that her husband, Dallas, has deserted their marriage. His malicious actions eventually unravel as Ava gets a chance to find true love with her destined soulmate. We have Megan Good playing Ava. We have Corey Hardrict playing Dallas. We have Beyonce's ex-stepdaddy, Richard Lawson, playing Megan Good's dad. Debbie Morgan playing her mom. And Divorce in the Black, like the title, comes from this idea that she wants a clean break. Like she doesn't want to own nothing. Like she doesn't want to receive nothing. Like let's just finish it. Pretty soon, pretty early in the movie, Corey asks for a divorce. So it's like, okay, give it to him then. You don't got to tell me twice. There's literally nothing in the movie. Because all you have to go off of is in the movie. I don't believe in imagining what happened in the lives of these characters before the movie begins, right? Like in their marriage, Ava and Dallas, did they have a good marriage and it crumbled? I don't know, because they didn't show us. They had maybe Tyler gave us like a 60-second flashback. We used to smile. And now we're not smiling. In my opinion, that is not enough. So I guess the first twist is you think she's the one asking for a divorce. No, he's the one asking for a divorce. He points like this the whole time. You never loved me. You think you better than me and yada yada. And I'm just like, where's this coming from? Has he always been this crappy? So the movie ends up being about how Dallas kind of flips out when he realizes that not only is Ava going to divorce him and she doesn't want anything, she doesn't want no strife, she's finna sign on the dotted line, permanent marker, doesn't even have a lawyer. That's how much she's done, right? She cried her little cries, but she's done. And she's moving on pretty quickly. She's like with this new dude from the country, you know how it goes. Of course, that sends Dallas on a spiral. Okay. And he just stalks her, just escalates. His behavior escalates and escalates. He threatens her, threatens her mama in the Piggly Wiggly. So then Beyonce's ex-stepdaddy is like, oh no, first of all, he's in the 70s? But he got his gun. He said, nobody threatens my queen. So not everybody's involved. It's just violence. And then there is a final struggle. And you're going to have to watch it yourself on Amazon Prime to see the ending. The thrilleriness comes from all the devious things he does to try and get her back, but really it's just like super abusive. It's no baby, baby, please. It's more like, I'm gonna get you. And the movie, my issue with the movie is that Mr. Perry doesn't show us enough about the main characters for us to latch onto them. Because we never really learn that much about Ava and Dallas's marriage as a whole, we just know that he's unrelentingly terrible in almost a cartoonish way. And we know that her bestie doesn't approve, and we trust her bestie. We know that her parents don't approve, and we trust her parents. But because we don't get a true emotional feel for the way things were and why she loves him or not, or if he ever even actually loved her, that's not clear. Because of that, it's kind of hard to understand on a basic level, on a lowbrow level, why things are happening and what the motivations are for both Ava and Dallas, the villain. Dallas asks for a divorce, but he's mad that he's getting one so quick, which happens. In real life, it does happen, but we're not thinking about real life. We're thinking about what we've been told in the movie. And what we've been told kind of doesn't match. There's just something, very much something, that takes you out. We're forced to kind of fill in the blanks a lot, which is mental work. You know what I mean? When we want to plop down and watch a movie, especially not a highbrow movie, we kind of just want to sit there and let things play out, and we have emotional connections and we understand what's going on. But yeah, we're not trying to decipher the Jordan Peele universe. You know what I mean? I get it. But in a Tyler Perry movie, you are kind of being like, huh? If you don't feel like doing kind of that mental work, you kind of just don't get attached to much. And so when you see these reviews online from regular people that say simply like, I didn't like it, or it was boring. Imagine, how can something with so much stuff happening in it be boring? It's because of what I'm saying right now. It's because there's nothing to latch on to. Which is a bummer. It's not fun. And that is not sophisticated or intelligent. I think that's just very simply asking for cause and effect in a story. It's just clarity. Because in addition to not believing in hate watching, I'm almost like the perfect viewer of TV shows and movies because I completely suspend disbelief. I don't try to guess the middle. I don't try to guess the ending. I don't try to guess the twist. I am in it in real time. I am not somebody who wants to see all the signs. I'm not looking for no Easter egg. I will follow the journey I am being taken on. You know what I'm saying? If I notice a symbolism, I'll clock the symbolism. But other than that, I don't try to go too deep with it upon the first watch. So I feel like I'm the perfect viewer of things. It's just that sometimes, not always, but often, the journeys that Tyler Perry takes us on just be having gaps, question marks. When it comes to divorce, when it comes to Divorce in the Black, the movie starts out with Corey Hardrick being a meanie bobini to his wife making good. Dallas and Ava. So the film starts in church. We're in the church service. Making Good's dad is the preacher and he's preaching, okay? He's taking us there. He's talking about like repentance and you gotta do right to be right and you gotta get right. And then you realize this is a funeral service. So this whole sermon is talking about the recently deceased in the building here with us, and how he was such a bad person, and the deeds he did were so dastardly that may God have mercy on his soul. But actually, not even may God have mercy on his soul. Actually, we're too late. We already know where he is. In the bad place. Okay, in the bad place. I'm like, what? And basically the pastor is like, let this be a warning to you, the dead dude's family, because it's a bunch of boys. Corey Hardrick is one of the surviving brothers, adult brothers. It's a family of adult brothers and their mom. Oh, a boy, mom. Oh. Basically, the pastor's like, let this be a lesson to the rest of y'all raggedy ragamuffins. You need to fix y'all's ways because you don't want to go down, down, down. You want to go higher, higher, higher. You want to go higher. You want to go to the good place. That's kind of riffraff. He's kind of talking smack. The dead dude's mom is like, you will not. She stands in the middle of the church service and she's like, you will not disrespect me and my family. She says, get the body. What? She takes off her dress because the dress was borrowed from the pastor's wife, which is Megan Good's mom. And it's like, I don't need your raggedy hand-me-downs. Come to find out, this service is paid for by Megan Good's parents and, family. And because Megan Good is married to Corey Hardrict, which is the brother of the deceased, right? So like family, let's pay for a good funeral. But the mama is like, you can take your raggedy dress back to New York and company. She told her sons, get the body. So they go to lift the casket. She says, no. I said, get the body. Then they carried a stiff brother out of the church. So that's where we begin. Dallas is like snatching his hand away during the funeral service. He always looks so mad. I'm like, he starts out mad. And while I can very clearly and easily understand why Dallas is pissed in that moment, in that scene, because his father-in-law, Megan Good's dad, is terrible what he's saying in his little sermon at his brother's homegoing. I can understand why he's mad in that scene, but why is Dallas terrible in general? We never really know. Gaps. Question marks. He's so one-dimensional that you can't really take him seriously. If it wasn't for the threats of physical violence, it would kind of be a joke. I find myself laughing at Corey Hardrick's not his performance as an actor, well, maybe, but like Dallas is kind of a joke sometimes. And then you quickly remember, oh yeah, like he could like strangle her if he really wanted to. He's not built up enough as a character to be a true villain because he's not a full human being. Terrible people are still full human beings. My number one issue with the movie is that the villain of the movie is always the villain in any piece of work, unless the villain is a monster, like an actual supernatural being, an alien, the monster's in A Quiet Place. As long as your villain is a human, they can't always be a villain. This is my opinion, my taste. I don't believe it's highbrow. I'm actually wanting more of a backstory for the villain. Like, there was nothing redeeming. Nothing redeeming. What am I supposed to do with that? And like, I understand that the film is supposed to be for the Avas of the world, for the people who can look at Megan Good's character and be like, yeah, that was me. But I don't know why you have to make a whole movie with characters if you're not going to allow the characters to exist. There was like a brief moment where you realize that maybe as a child he was forced to kill his father, which is not a spoiler because that doesn't mean anything. It's not, maybe it was an attempt to humanize him, but it's never brought up again. That piece of info is presented, he's crying in the bathroom, okay. And then in the following scene, I think, maybe like a couple scenes later, Dallas himself shoots it down. We never hear about it again. So the movie isn't about that. It's not about his demons. It's not about his past. It's not about his traumas. It's not about his mama. We've been instructed to disregard that piece of information. And so we feel absolutely nothing for him as he continues to embarrass and eventually terrorize his own wife. And before y'all start, humanizing the villain actually helps us as viewers sympathize with the main character. It helps us sympathize with who the villain is hurting. So of course Ava wants to keep this marriage. Underneath this horribleness, he's just a wounded boy who needs saving. But when he's wasted crying in the bathroom and says that he had to kill his dad when he was little, that's the only time that's brought up. And we're never really given more. So we don't feel anything long enough or deep enough to care. His trauma doesn't explain enough. So now I'm mad. I'm mad at him, and I'm starting to get mad at Ava. That's horrible. I'm with the best friend. Hello. Dallas trauma only humanizes him if it's used for something, and it's not. It just creates a gap, a question mark. The Dallas character very obviously is a raging alcoholic, has PTSD of some sort, comes from a terrible family with a mom because the mother figure is a weirdo, but none of that is framed in a way that matters. From the beginning of the film to the end, I just need him gone. And I'm just waiting for the main character to figure out a way to get him gone. There's no push and pull. It's all, like, he's all totally bad. And although, like, Megan Good's character will say things that are positive, we didn't see them. We didn't see any of them. Nothing redeeming. So this is a man who has some serious life problems, maybe, but who does terrible things, definitely. There was no relationship building. A divorce is supposed to, like, Megan Good's character, Ava, is, like, shook by this news. Why? He's a terrible person. And it's not immediately obvious that she loves him. Like, they never fought. It was always him screaming and her, like, doing nothing, but not doing nothing in a hurt, wounded, terrorized, abused woman type of way. She's doing nothing in a Tyler Perry forgot to write that part kind of way. Do you get what I'm saying? I think here's what it is. There's something about the writing, the writing, Tyler Perry's writing. You know how people say show don't tell? He be telling. He just be telling you. And when you're just told a fact about a character in a world, you don't have a chance to feel it as truth. Because remember, I said I'm somebody who watches a movie ready to believe whatever you have to tell me. I'm not even comparing it to the outside world. I'm just in your world. When you tell, don't show, you don't get, this is a visual medium. So when you tell and don't show, you don't give us the chance to feel anything for anybody deeply at all. So everything ends up being kind of inconsequential. Tied in with that, when it comes to the writing, is that some scenarios and some, like, plot points are so over the top that it becomes comedy. Like, in the beginning, when the mom said, get the body out of the casket, you kind of don't know whether to laugh. Like, is this supposed to be funny? And I don't think it was supposed to be funny. But bro, like, it was kind of funny, because who says that? We're not given any reason. Okay, here it is. I'm having a tough time explaining. And shout out to Editing Evelyn. So let me say this. In Tyler Perry films and in Divorce in the Black, a lot be happening. But, like, not really. The shots, let's talk about the shots, okay? The shots are so, let's take the camera off the tripod. We call them sticks in the biz. And this is more about the directing. Because he's both. I would love Tyler Perry to get rid of the sticks. Like, let's get some movement. Everything feels pretty sterile. Let me see what the people of Reddit are saying. Maybe they can help me. Scroll. Oh, see! My God, I love when I read Reddit and, like, people feel me. This person says his work often feels stagnant because the camera never moves and the shots don't vary enough. The actors were great talent. I agree! But Perry's direction never really highlights their talent in ways that would really serve them or the story. No one ever seemed as if they were in the same scene or story emotionally. That's what I'm saying. Megan Good is just looking stunning and is, like, being hurt. And then Corey Hart is like, bleep, bleep, bleep. This is literally what he does. The energies don't match. Hold on. There are so many scenes where normal response and instincts are ignored in favor of the script. Perry never allows any emotional builds. Perry doesn't give us enough backstory for any of the characters or plot, no character arc or development. The film doesn't know what genre it wants to be, and yet it is also not genre bending. It isn't so outlandish and predictable that it's a good laugh, because the film actually takes itself too seriously when it shouldn't, and not serious enough when it should. And this is why I resent this whole idea of Tyler Perry calling people highbrow Negroes. What is highbrow about wanting a consistent storyline? We get that from reality TV. Reality TV be having a consistent storyline. Invested. We have been watching housewives from every geographical location for decades because of how consistent the story. We've been talking about Rashida. It's kind of like he refuses. It's a triangle. We all know the triangle. There are 3 sides to this triangle. Okay? We got good, fast, and cheap. In life, I'm sorry for yelling. In life, you can only have 2. You got to pick 2. So if you want, what did I say? Good, fast, cheap. If you want something good that's done quickly, it's going to cost you a lot of money because you want it to be good and you want it to be done quickly. If something is done quickly, that's what I put down here. If something's done quickly, and it's not done with a lot of money investment, it's not going to be good. And if you want something good, right? I'm starting to get confused. If you want something good and not for a lot of money, guess what? It's not going to be done quickly. We can over the years we can clearly kind of see which 2 he tends to pick. And oh no, it comes to a point where it's content and not artistic expression. Oh no. I'm more inclined to compare Tyler Perry to Mr. Beast than any other type of writer / director / executive producer. It seems to be a content farm, which is fine. It's impressive, even. But it's also not what he would say he's doing, right? He'd be talking about the trenches he putting on for trenches. I think Tyler Perry would be extremely offended to be called a high budget content creator. He thinks he's putting the hood on his back, but sometimes part of the hood is saying, well, what if we slow down and had the output be a little elevated? Not intellectual, not academic, not highbrow, just... Does he feel like he needs to crank out movies? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. What's also interesting to me is he doesn't seem to be interested in having a protege. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm just not in the know. What did Nicki Minaj say? All these is my sons? I don't think he wants no sons, which I find interesting. I wonder what it would have been like with Megan writing. Has she directed anything? I don't think she's directed. What would that have looked like? You know what I mean? When it comes to writing and directing, it's about the choices you make. What are the choices that you're making? It was just like too much and also not enough. And if I had to describe my issue with most Tyler Perry films, it's that. It's that it's too much, but also not enough. And I think why that bothers me, because there's nothing wrong with being too much and not enough, because again, I legitimately watch old school Nollywood movies where it's too much and not enough. There's something about the quality. Like the films are beautiful, right? Now we've all seen his property, like the studio lots and like everything. Like everything looks like it has an Instagram filter on it. Like it looks beautiful. The quality it has increased. And so it's such a stark contrast. So the visuals are visualing, but the plot is not rising to the occasion. The occasion that he set forth by making everything look nice, look good. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not here to talk about, I think sometimes when he talks about the highbrow Negro of it all, he's referencing people's critiques about like, Black women always being in struggle and the film's never passing, what's that test? The Bechdel test? One of my favorite movies is Diary of a Mad Black Woman. When that movie come on, I'm locked in. I don't even need no snacks. So I'm not here to say whether, it's too much struggle in the movies, or, it's too much reliance on male characters. Like the female character can never navigate without the assistance of a male character to move her along, or like push her along, or pull her in one way. That's even with all of that, I still think you can make an enjoyable piece of cinema. And a lot of the time in these Tyler Perry films, I feel like what's missing is the story. With Diary of a Mad Black Woman, you feel it. The emotional, you felt the weight of it all. Diary of a Mad Black Woman is damn near a perfect film from an entertainment satisfaction perspective. The villain, humanized. We clearly understand what is happening, why the marriage is crumbling. He getting too big for his britches. They've been together since when the money was low, when the money was gone, when they wasn't nobody, when they were struggling. And now he's rising above, and he want to upgrade his whole life, including his lady. We understand the fertility issues. We understand why Kimberly Elise, since Set It Off, she's been giving emotions. We understand why she's fighting so hard, and why it's so hard to let go, because she knows who he used to be, and he used to be good for so long. We see why she's crumbling, but we're rooting for her. Oh, the dress scene. Oh, the dress scene. Heartbreaking. We were shown. We weren't simply told. We were shown. We were given scenarios and examples where we see these feelings, these emotions, and these motivations playing out. There's comedy via Medea, and it feels appropriate to laugh. We know when to laugh. We know when to not laugh. We know when to get serious. There's church. There's prayer. But there's revenge. There is forgiveness, but she's Christian, so makes sense. It makes sense for the character. It had everything. And that was Tyler Perry's first feature film. Iconic. I would rather have one film every 10 years. If it meant it could be a certified banger. Like that. Divorce in the Black is like, okay, I want a divorce. Okay. I'm getting frustrated, and I feel like I've been talking for 7 hours. So let's quickly talk about the things that I liked, which is what makes Divorce in the Black and Tyler Perry in general so frustrating. When Dallas asks for a divorce, Ava is shook. She goes to get away. She goes to her parents' house. Debbie Morgan is her mom. She goes to her parents' house in the country just to get back to her roots, you know what I'm saying? And her mother have this incredible scene. One thing you can never say about Megan Good is that she can't cry. You know what I mean? She's not giving us emotion. She's crying right in the face. Debbie Morgan, we all know Debbie Morgan can do it. There's this scene where her mother is telling her, what did I do? Where did I fail you as a mother that you thought this sort of behavior from a man was okay? I'm really thinking to myself as a mother, what could I have done better? Maybe I was too hard on you as a child, and I made you feel like you could never quit things, that it was a bad quality to give up. But it's not giving up. This is your safety. And I apologize. Hey, amen. I apologize for the mistakes that I have made as a mother that made you believe, even in spite of me and your father being in a very loving, healthy marriage. He's always treated me good. You saw nothing but a good example. But there was something there that made you believe what was going on in your marriage was acceptable. And I, as a parent, as old as I am and as old as you are as my child, I, as a parent, still take some form of responsibility. That was an incredible scene. But that's not what the movie's about. In the beginning of the movie, with the funeral and get the body and all of that, after the chaos of the funeral, her parents are looking at her like, what is going to be? Because this is bad. And Megan Good, Ava, there's this scene again with her parents about, didn't you tell me to be a good Christian wife? Didn't you tell me to love my man and to love my marriage? And this is of God. But now you want me to divorce? Now you want me to quit? There's something there. That is a conflict of values, right? When something is preached over and over again. You're taught to be steadfast, but is the teaching sometimes to the detriment? That's a very interesting thing to really dive into, but that's not what the movie's about. So there's these little pockets. There's these pockets of really good stuff. Her best friend gives her a letter and says, "Hey, I have written down every terrible thing your husband has done to you. And that's just what I know because you told me. But I could fill a whole sheet of paper or however many pieces of paper. Here you go. I support you and I love you and I'll always be here for you. But you need to see what is real and what is reality." That's a friend. See, that was good. That was good. So it's not all totally bad. I think sometimes, I don't want you to think that I think it's all totally bad. There's lots of really good stuff. And that's what makes it even more frustrating when it takes a left. This is actually my right. When it takes a left. And that's where, maybe we write it again. We hit another draft. We get somebody else's input. I'd be interested to know like the writing process and like the approval process, because if he's writing and he's approving it, like, anyway. Also, if I remember correctly, Megan Good said this was the first film where she was paid her actual rate. Yeah, Megan Good and Corey Hardrick praised Tyler Perry for fair compensation. So both of them have said that Tyler Perry paid them the most they've ever made. And these are people that have been working for decades, right? Heck yeah, we love that. Let's wrap this up, shall we? I gotta get out of here. Let me know what you thought of the film. Highbrow. It's the highbrow thing that's like, what do you think? Okay. Is he calling himself lowbrow? Because I don't believe he believes himself to be lowbrow. That's the thing that confuses me. I believe Tyler Perry takes himself way too seriously to call himself lowbrow. I just want more. I want more because I know it's possible. Because I know it's possible. Anyway, let me know what you thought. Tyler Perry, please don't. I don't want no smoke. I would love to give writing a whirl. I would love to give it a whirl. People might be mad at me. But I would give it a whirl. An internship? At my big age, I'm not too good for an internship. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the internet somewhere.